Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy from Hampton, Iowa. I am pleased to be a part of the Rural That Works conference here. And as Deb has mentioned several times before, this is the part of the conference that means a lot because no matter what is said during the conferences, I know there's going to be a lot of great speakers that are going to be taking the stage and sharing experiences with you. I'm going to be just one little part of that, and the chances of you remembering the computer guy are going to be, they'll be there, but they'll be a little bit slimmer than our keynote speaker and other speakers that get up in front of you. But that is why we're doing these videos, is so you remember just what we talked about. And this is going to be a three-part video. I'm going to talk about what I do for a living, day to day, a little bit of a product I'm introducing that I've done probably for the last 9 years or so, and then a product that I'm going to be releasing this week and have a special deal, especially for people who attend Rural That Works. And again, I just want to go over a little bit about background here. Always been interested in computers since I've been about 14 years old. I got in trouble in school because of them and helped my dad with his computer business. He actually started out in the ready-mix concrete business. And then one day he brought a computer home and says, I bet you 20 bucks you can't put that together and make it work. And so I did. And then what he really bought the computer for was that the Weldon's Ready Mix company he worked for was failing tests on the grade of their concrete. And at that point in time, they were doing some big pours for the state of Iowa for their Interstate 35 work and some of the highways that come off of I-35. And so anyway, what he had envisioned was that instead of failing these tests, the state would just come in and write down the numbers right off the screen, and that would be that. So what we had to do was come up with a recipe for concrete, and we did that. And my dad and I and another gentleman programmed that into a computer in basic computer language, and that was their recipe for concrete, whether it was a 1/4 yard or 8 3/4 of a yard. That is how concrete was mixed in Hampton, Iowa, and they could just write the numbers right off the screen. Now, they have computers there now, and I can only imagine how more complex it is rather than the days when we started. From there, high school, I went into took computers at NIAC, of course, in 1983, 1984, 1985. They didn't have Windows 95 yet, or Windows 10, or anything like that. So we did what we could do with what we had. From the time of 1983 to 2000, I was in radio. So I worked at 5 different radio stations around North Iowa and thought, computers will be the last I need to think about. Well, at all the radio stations, eventually they did get computers, and I was an integral part of helping put those things together and writing programs for those as well. Back in 1996, while working at the radio station here in Hampton, I developed a knack of hooking the computers to the internet through a program we were reselling through the radio station called Rural Connections Internet Service. And it come to mind that I seemed to be helping a lot of people hook their computers to the internet, and my boss says, gee whiz, you should start a business. And so I did, and I didn't know what to call it. So I was over in Allison, Iowa one day, and I knocked on the door. And the little girl at the door says, Mom, the computer guy is here. And that stuck. The computer guy was born. So that's how that all happened back in 1996. Fast forward, I left a full-time job in 2006 and started a storefront in downtown Hampton. Had some problems there with a building and landlord and other little things. And so I thought, I'm just going to move this back to my basement where I can work in the middle of the night in my underwear, well, and nobody has to really see me until the daytime, and I can make house calls, do everything from there. So I pretty much have a route established around North Iowa. Mondays and Wednesdays, I go north. I start in Hampton first, then go north. And then usually on Tuesdays, I go east. On, again, Wednesdays, I go north. Thursdays, I go south. And then on Fridays, I go west. And I'm usually in the Webster City, Hamilton County area on Fridays, usually based out of the In Tandem workspace, which I'm a mobile member of. So that's a handy thing too, as people can come over and drop off their computers to me in that area, just at the In Tandem workspace, and then I can take care of those. Again, lots of changes over the years since Windows 95 and even before that, when we just programmed in BASIC and DOS and things like that. But the logic is still there, and you just have to be logistical and always thinking about how the computer would do things in its programming. A lot of computer improvements since those days. I mean, now we have, of course, the smartphones, which are more powerful than what we would have had back in the 80s and 90s. So again, what I do, I can set your computer up, I can transfer the data. My specialty is virus removal, malware removal, and prevention. I can do networking around your home or small home office. I don't really tackle the big jobs, like I don't work for the big companies like that. To me, the consumer, the home user, and the home business office is the backbone of my business. Someone the other day says, well, home computer repair is dead. Nobody does home computer repair anymore. It is dead. Well, the other day, I happened to hook up 2 Alexas in the house, 2 TVs that are internet TVs, and a printer. And so when people tell me, well, it's dead, it's not really dead. They're just not focusing on it. And that's what I do, is basically focus on the end user who is at the home or home office. So that's what I do. I am pretty much on the road 5 days a week, sometimes Saturday, sometimes Sunday. I don't like to really promote that at all, but if there's work to be done and things need to be done, I can certainly go out and do them on Sundays. Want to contact me? Hey, that's great. The best way to get a hold of me is you can text me at 641-420-1234. You can call me at the same number. I will answer. If I don't, it'll go to voicemail. You can leave a nice voicemail. I'm on Facebook at Pat the Computer Guy. You can always send me a message there. You can email me at Yankees. I'll put these addresses and things on the screen here in a little bit. That's why I have my board is, of course, over my shoulder here, so I'll be putting things up here. And I have a website at www.thecomputerguy.bz. So, and I'm just getting that redesigned as we speak. So hopefully by the time people see this, it'll be poof, it'll be ready to go. Also, I don't have a mobile app, but my mobile website looks just like a mobile app, and you'll have to check that out. It's still at thecomputerguy.bz. So if you need some in-home computer repair, that's the ticket. I'm your guy. And like I said, I've been doing computer repair for about 22 years, and I've seen a lot in the home. That's what somebody says. What's the most common thing you see in the home? And I say, piles of laundry. But anyway, that's another story. I'm going to talk about in my next section a little bit more of what I do, a newer service I've offered within the last 10 years, and you may be interested in that as well too. So we'll take a break. I'll put my contact information up, and then we will hit you with the next part of my presentation. Stick around. Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here, back at you from Hampton, Iowa. We're going to talk about part 2 of the 3 things I'm going to talk about today for my presentation. And this part of the show is about remote repair. This is a service now I've offered for about 8-9 years or so. This is by which I am in Hampton, Iowa, or wherever my computer's at, and I can get into your computer if you have a problem. Now, a lot of people have seen this rash of criminals lately out there that trick you into remoting into your computer. They set a computer password and poof, they're gone. And then since you didn't pay them, you can't get back in your computer. Well, I do have the fix for that as well too, but that's a different topic for a different time. But I do offer remote computer repair. Now I have right now 2 different packages, and I'm going to add more packages coming soon as the need arises, and I do some more investigating on what package may be the best for my customer. But right now I do offer a $40 an hour package. That is where you call me or send me a text, hey Pat, I've got a computer problem. We line up a time at some point in time which is convenient for me, convenient for you. A lot of times this is after I get off work. come home for the night from doing computer work. This might be 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And so then I can log into your computer, you allow me to get in, and I fix the problem, and we go from there. That's based on $40 per hour. And I do prorate that a little bit. If it's a little bit less than a half hour, we'll prorate that a little bit for you. But pretty much count on $40 per hour for that. And you can watch. You have complete control. If you want to move the mouse and click the X and lock me out, then that's just what you can do. But I don't suggest that. But anyway, you could do that. My second package is what I call the remote seat package. This is $40 per year per computer. And you send me a text or give me a call and say, Pat, I've had some problems with my computer. I'm pretty much going to be able to fix that and get on your problem within 4 hours. I usually try and have a 4-hour window there where I can get to your computer, whether I'm either in a coffee shop or I come home or something, and I can just log into your computer right from my laptop, get your problem taken care of, and that is also a cost of $40 per hour. The remote seat just ensures that we have a quick service call on that, so you're not waiting around for my schedule and your schedule to line up, because I'm already hooked into your computer ahead of time, and all I do is click one button and I'm in your computer. So no need to worry about that. You always know when I'm going to log in, and you always know when I'm going to log out. So there's no I'm going to get in your computer in the middle of the night type of thing. We're going to let you know when that happens. Sometimes it does work out where someone says, hey, late tonight after I go to bed, just log in the computer and fix it. And I said, okay, I can do that. But the $40 remote seat does ensure that I have access at all times, and that your computer gets fixed a little bit ahead of the other ones who don't have the remote seat. Now, like I said, I do have other packages coming out soon. They're going to be determined later, especially on cost and what the value is and what the services are of that computer repair. It's called managed services, and that's where it's pretty much a monthly fee, or you can pay it by the year, of course, and things just happen where it builds an antivirus and a backup and all sorts of things like that. But I have to find the right package that's going to be tailored for you, the customer, before we offer any of that. So you want to see a little bit of a demo of how the remote repair system works. Let's take a look. Here's a quick demo of my remote repair services. So there's two ways to do this. Like I said, the $40 per call time is when you make a phone call to me and say, I need some help. It's $40 per hour. I'm not already pre-programmed into your computer. We just hit start the session. I give you a code for the session, and then copy this code and either email it to you or send it to you through social media. You click the code, it starts a series of programs, and then you download it and run the program, and then I'm inside of your computer. The other way is the $40 per year method, where I already have a seat in your computer. You already have a seat in my computer, and so then if you need computer repair, it's somewhat pretty much an automatic. I can just get into it. I'll let you know, hey, I'll be in after 8 o'clock tonight, blah, blah, blah. Or if there's a case of where you need immediate assistance, this is good too. I can just pull over pretty much the side of the road to a coffee shop or any place with Wi-Fi, log into your computer and get your problem fixed. So it's either way. It's either we can line it up or do it immediately if time allots for that. I do like to keep like a 4-hour service window on that. So if you do need help, that's why you're paying the extra money for the seat at the table as far as computer repair goes. So let's just show you quick what's going to happen is you call me and I say, okay, well, let's just get in your computer. And then I come down and click my home computer, which we'll just take care of right now. And I can log into my home computer. So we click into my home computer and hit connect. This is the end you don't see. And then it connects to my computer. And this gives me details about the computer. Usually if you already have a seat at the table in my system, then I would have your name here. Maybe I would have some descriptions of the issues. This also tells me what system you're running, how much RAM the computer has, the CPU, the disk space, the network we're on, and the operating system, which is pretty handy. So I clicked the remote repair, and now this is my desktop, as you can see right here. And so I can access any file that I have on the desktop. So here's this, for example. So, of course, a blatant plug for myself. I can also get in and run any programs over here that I have as well. I could start Internet Explorer, I could start Chrome or whatnot, and download various programs to your computer. Now, I do have a disks that I have where I have special files. I can transfer files to your computer, and then I can run them as well. So if I need some specific programs, if I need to test your hard drive, I can come over and I can put the hard drive test on your computer as well too. So things like that, then I can run a diagnostic that way. So that's a little bit about my remote repair program. Again, it is $40 an hour. If you have a seat on the system, it's $40 for the seat and then $40 per hour, but the response time is a little bit greater. It's within 4 hours. So the other way is we both have to line up a time when we're on, and then that gets hairy. Well, I'm not going to be home till 6. Well, I'm not going to be home till 8, and then finding a time to do that. Otherwise, when you already have a prepaid seat, I can just get in any time I want. So I also verify with you that this is the time I'm going to be in, and you can hit the X anytime you want and close me out. So sometimes if we get the wires crossed, I'll get in. They'll say, hey, I'm not ready now, and they'll click me out. So that's a little bit about my remote repair services. You can, like I said, I can run pretty much anything I want on your computer, just like I'm inside your computer. So just like I'm sitting right in front of it. So that's a couple things about my remote services here, and hope you've enjoyed this part of the show. Again, thanks a lot for watching the demo of the remote repair service. Again, if you need to reach out to me, contact me. You can text message me, 641-420-1234. That's about the fastest way to get a hold of me. If I'm in a customer's home, many times I do not answer the phone. I think that's rude, and they're paying me to work on their computer. They're not paying me to line up another appointment down the road. So calling, if you call and get a voicemail, just leave a message. That's how it's going to be. A lot of times I'm at another customer's home, and I'm not going to interrupt what I'm doing with them to take another call. So that's kind of how that works. You can also Facebook me. I'm online at Pat the Computer Guy is the Computer Guy's page. Of course, you can email me. I'll put my email information here as well too, and you can go to my website at www.thecomputerguy.bz, and you can contact me there as well. So several ways to contact me. Let's talk about remote repair. Usually on Fridays I'm in the Hamilton County area down in Tandem, but if the computer breaks on a Monday, it's till Friday before I get back, and if you need something done in a jiffy, I can certainly take care of that via remote repair. So that's part 2 of our programming today. Stay tuned for part number 3. Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the Computer Guy here from Hampton, Iowa. I am back at you with part number 3 for the Rural That Works video series that we're putting out here for the attendees of the Rural That Works conference, and I'm very pleased to be a part of that and a sponsor for it. And as we were talking earlier, I talked about my my on-site computer repairs that I do. Talked about the remote computer repairs that I do. This is part number 3, and this is probably the most serious of the 3 because I'm very concerned about internet safety and your internet safety and the safety of your family. The new service I'm talking about is the new dark web scan service for businesses and individuals. And a couple months ago, you may remember, I talked to Ken Dwight, and Ken Dwight is a good friend. He's also known as the Virus Doctor. And Ken and I talked about an email that went out here a while back, and I'll just put it up on the screen as well too. It was basically called sextortion. And what this did was this harvested a password from an account that you may have used in the past, and it pretty much said, you need to pay us some money, or we're going to share with all your friends the fact that you've been surfing on some pornographic websites. So anyway, I hope nobody was really alarmed by that. But if you said, wait, that's my password, then that's a different part. What they had done was, somewhere along the line, this company had used the dark web to pull up passwords of accounts and then scare the bejesus out of people. And I got a lot of phone calls about it. Is this real? Could this happen? Could this be done? Well, it really wasn't going to be done, but they had a link there. If you wanted to pay the money, you would have paid money and it would have just have gone to somebody's pocket. There was no protecting you against this. So how do they get that password? That's the main question that a lot of people wanted to know. Well, a lot of people have access to the dark web, and dark web is simply the unindexed portion of the internet. In some cases, special tools or special browsers are used to gain access to the dark web, and that's where a lot of breach materials are shared or traded or sold. And so somebody evidently had a file of hacked passwords and email addresses that they put into a database and sent those out. Now, if you said that is my password and that is my current password, well, then you have problems. And the problems are that people are not changing their passwords enough. So what my dark web scanning service is for business and individuals is that I've teamed up with a major security company to offer comprehensive searches for both businesses and individuals. So let's break that down. Let's say that you have a Target account, and of course we all know the big Target breach here a while back. It wasn't from somebody hacking into the Target's mainframe. This was a fact that somebody hacked into a heating and cooling system and then worked their way all the way through the company until they got the list of username and password accounts and credit card information. And so this can happen. It's happened a lot. So let's say they hacked the Target account and you were one of them, and you use the same password for Target as you did for Staples, as you did for Equifax, as you do for your email. So the hacker may guess that you could use the same password, thus typing in your email account into like a webmail function, and then change your email address or change your email password. So let's say, for example, your Target card is in your Target account. So the hacker would then check to see if your email account and email password are the same as the Target email account and Target password. If they are, here's what they will do. They will get into your email, and then they will possibly send a change of email address or a change of password to your Target account, change the password, confirm it through your email, which they have the password of, or they will just change the email password on your account through your internet service provider, and then start ordering things from Target, and you'll get the bill because your credit card would be tied to your Target account. So that's how they could do that. That's more of a descriptive thing that I really wanted to go into, but that's how they could do it. For example, if you're a business and you have the corporate credit card on your email account and it's attached to maybe Staples, they could get into the Staples account with your username and password that they have found on the breach site, and they could change that. I want to make a change of password. Now, most times they have to confirm it through email. Sometimes they don't. But anyway, they could change that pretty quick and then order a bunch of things from Staples, put it on your corporate credit card. Maybe your corporate wouldn't get the bill for a month or so. By the time they look it over, oh, what's this? What do they order here? And then they could have returned the item, gotten credit back to them. So a lot of different things could have happened to that Staples account. So this is what I'm worried about for not only businesses, but for individuals. What I'm offering is I will run an individual search based off your email address for $30 and provide you a report. Now, this is for a 1 hour. Now, for a 1 hour consultation with this, I will go over the report with you and also help you set up two-factor authentication on your accounts. So, for example, I notice a lot of people lately having issues with Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and things like this. We can set up two-factor authentication for most all of your accounts. That if somebody does log into your account, wish to change the password, you get a notification on your phone that you have to okay before anything goes forward. I will also help you out with that. So for the two-factor authentication and your social media accounts and for your review of your breached report, that will also be $70. So total cost on that would be for the report and for the time it takes, the 1 hour I will sit down with you and go over your report. That total is 1 hour, and that total will be $100. So if you just want the report and you can do it yourself, fine and dandy, that's $30. Now, for a family of 5 or up to 5 email addresses, I would run all the reports for a cost of $100, and then a 2-hour session with you would be for $120. Total cost on that, $220, and that would be for the reports and up to 5 email addresses and 2 hours of the time working with you and your family. You think, well, my kid's got an email address, and don't worry about that. Well, we should, because the time to sell a child's identity is before the age of 18. Before they've set out and done any credit or ruined their credit or made their credit good, that's the time people need to sell identities and things like that, is actually before they're 18. Because they can be bought and sold many times. Things can be put in their names and whatnot, and I'll use that same email address. A while back, 77 million student and teacher accounts were hacked, and all of their information was put on the dark web as well. For a business, we handle things a bit differently. We have a $100 a month monitoring service with a 6-month minimum. So this would provide a report and live monitoring service for your company's emails. So all the email addresses, like for example, at abcd.com, would be monitored. Any new activity results would get sent to you, and they would get sent to me or whoever is in charge of your account, whether it's the IT director, the CEO, whoever, and that would include the whole email address, the suffix. So anybody, like say example, John Smith at abcd.com, that would be part of the report. So anybody who has that would be part of the report. So whether you have 500 employees or whatnot, we could set that up, and that would be $100 a month, minimum 6 month, and that would provide a service to you. If you need me to come in and meet with your IT director or your CEO, of course, we'd have a separate charge for that. So, for example, our local school district, where every employee has an email address, had 285 email breaches. And this is where things become dangerous. Again, which employee, if any, had access to a corporate credit card? I know of a lot of teachers these days, with school budgets being tight, a lot of teachers nowadays are just using their own credit cards to purchase things from Staples or Target or wherever for their rooms. We hear of that all the time. Now, their credit card data could be sold and bought, and it'll be under their school address. This becomes very concerning. Like I said, if a teacher has left the school district, but their information is still intact and tied to their account, what we do is we'd work with your IT director and get the account removed from your, first of all, from the dark web, and then get it removed, the card removed from the account as well from the participating store that it's part of, like Target or Staples or whatever it's at. Anyway, I'll be rolling this out at the event. I may be doing some live searches at the event if time allows. Mention to me the buzzwords rural remote, and I will discount this service to you by $10. I'll save you $10 at the conference. If you contact me after the conference, then just send me a note and write in the memo rural remote, and I will certainly get that report to you and knock $10 off the price. And that is just for your personal report. All other fees are going to stay the same. Again, I want you and your business to be safe. I want you to feel safe online. And I really appreciate everybody here at Rural That Works at the event and the conference here. You've been great people to talk to. Met a lot of interesting people and heard a lot of great speeches here as well too. So thank you for having The Computer Guy being a part of this. Again, you can find me at www.thecomputerguy.bz. You can always give me a call or send me a text at 641-420-1234, the easiest number in North Iowa, 641-420-1234. We'll see you next time.